lactobacillus, things like that, that will help the birds to create or generate the bacteria that you kill, the good bacteria that you kill by giving them the you know uh, all these antibiotics. So like I said, canaries are really really beautiful birds. I've seen people hand feed them. They kind of get pretty attached, not like the other finches. So all they need is time and patience to accumulate and to get settled. If you give them those, they definitely will give you good results. That being said, that comes to the end of my presentation. So I'll open it up for any questions. I think I overshot by 5 minutes. I wanted to get it done by 1 hour. So sorry about that. Any questions? I think I pretty much covered most of whatever I read. But if you feel anything that hasn't been covered in the topic, please feel free to go ahead.
Yeah, I have a question. I mean, I started keeping canaries for last 1 year. Mr. Mohan, are you
Yep.
hearing?
Yeah. I can hear you.
Yeah, the last 1 year I start keeping canaries, and I have faced, as you said, we should not hurry in breeding, but with their lovely colors and the way they're looking, I have bred immediately, and all the five pairs, instead from all the five pairs which I got, and then immediately three of them laid eggs. Whereas we give a bowl of the nest bowl and the nest materials, everything, and the three of them, the three of the pair got hatched, but immediately, I mean, they started ignoring the chicks. Honestly, I mean, first 2 days they started feeding the youngsters, and then from the third days they ignored the chicks. And I don't know suddenly what happened. I have still video with me. I mean, I took the video where it was very lovely. They started feeding and they looks very beautiful. But sudden after 3 4 days, they ignored the chicks. But what we could find, we couldn't know that one because it's sitting on the eggs, but they are not feeding. So I lost all of the three pairs, and then I thought, okay, there is something wrong with that, and then I separated. And after that, I haven't breeded. I mean, then what you said as the canaries goes with a heavy mold. That's what I was facing right now. After that, I haven't bred from that period. And then where I'm seeing that I have never seen with this kind of mold with any other birds, because I have Goldians and African lovebirds. But this is the first time I'm seeing that the mold which I'm seeing with the canaries, still it is losing feathers. What will be the reason it is ignoring the chicks? And then the molt was continuing still now.
So, like I said, right, so to answer your question on the mold, canaries once in a year, when there is a prolongated rainy season, they tend to go on a heavy mold, and we expect to see a lot of loose feather around our cages. That's
Yes.
they go through a very bad stage at that point. Even if you look at their neck, right, you'll find a lot of bald spots. Their skin will be really visible. That's how they go through their mold. But it's a regular thing for them. What I would say, just give them the regular nutrition that is needed, and they will definitely go through that successfully.
Yes, I am giving Nectone multivitamin on weekly 3 times.
Yeah, I think that is good. I would also supplement them with egg food for mold. If there is a heavy mold, you can supply them with egg food. That's not a bad thing, because the bird loses, or 3x energy is required for any bird to complete its molds. So you can give them egg food as well along with this to support
Yes,
them.
yes, yes, I do. Yeah.
That would ensure that the mold is successful. Now, to answer your second question on the chicks being tossed, right? That's a
Yeah.
regular symptom that I've seen, especially with everybody is aware of the recent Gloucesters that have come in. There's a huge shipment. Everybody's got Gloucesters and happy. So I've not seen anybody successfully breed it, and some of the top breeders I know are still scratching their heads saying something is wrong with these birds, man. They don't. even most of them haven't even come to condition. It's been like 6 7 months. I have 2 or 3 males that have not come to conditions, and I've tried it for a week, conditioning them, and then say, okay, they're still accumulating, not breeding them. So the same thing happened to me. One or two birds did that. They fed for the first 2 or 3 days, and then they threw it off. What I noticed from their leg rings was that they were pretty young birds, and
Oh,
I gave them the second chance, and the second time they did the same thing, absolutely the same thing they did. So what
okay.
I did, I gave them some time. This is not the newer ones I'm talking about. This happened to me close to a year
Thank
back or
you.
something. So I stopped breeding them, and I separated the pair, and the same pair was reintroduced after, like, giving them 2 3 months of rest,
Uh-huh.
and they did raise the chicks after that successfully. So I've seen the parents abandoning them once they hatch the chick. They don't know what it is. Something is dancing in that nest, so they don't want to even get into the nest. Some of the parents are there like that, so they're very very young. But the ones that have started feeding and abandoning it on the second or third day, they will come out as really good parents. All they need is some more expertise to know that, what happens on the third day, right? If you look at the chick, the begging becomes a bit harsher than the normal ones. So it,
Yes,
it
yes.
kind of harshly goes to the bird, which kind of creates a panic to the female or the male, saying, okay, what is it trying to do now? It's asking me something. What do I do? So that fear itself sometimes can stop the bird. And that this is pretty much a very young bird that you're looking at. Give it some time. I think definitely on the next class you should be able to successfully get all the chicks saved.
Sure, sure. Because that's what my surprise. It was my first time. I mean, when I bought that 5 pairs from, I mean, after a month break, I put them in nest balls and a nest material with the coconut fibers. They have built a nest, a beautiful nesting, and then they laid eggs, and then we all happy. I took videos and I took the I mean, even though when I hatched chicks in the nest, still we go inside. We take out the eggs, and I mean, it's not like Goldian. They're lovely. They are very connected with us. When we come with the food, they watch us, what we are going to do. It's a lovely bird. But the thing is, they have immediately ignored the 3 pairs. I think all of them, all 5 pairs are imported birds. All 5 birds are imported birds. Maybe what the reason, what you told me now, they may be young birds. I didn't know what is their age. I didn't know what I have to do. So it was my first experience, and really really shocked. And after that I haven't breeded, but still the molt is going on heavily. Means heavily it is going on. So is that okay? We can give the medicine, because I have in last some seminar which people who are preferring that triple C, the medicine for antibiotic, and you are against that antibiotic. What medicine you can suggest them to give instead that scat? Because
So
they may have also have a problem of canker, right?
So, during the molt process, right, when we are talking about giving triple C and all that stuff during molt, I am not, in line with that for sure, because, a molt is a regular process for any bird's life, and in the wild, if you look at it, the birds don't get the antibiotics. They get everything what they need from their food. So all that we need to do is to supply them with a real good quantity of seed mix and the, fruits that are enriched with vitamins and minerals that really tend to help the bird, support them to get through their mold, successfully. That's pretty much all we need to do. I don't, if you give antibiotics, what I've seen with these birds, right, you give them a heavy toll on their health. You kind of kill their required bacteria, which in turn leads to other problems. So to me, right, I would not touch an antibiotic or a medicine unless or until I absolutely feel that, I kind of hold the bird in my hand, find out if it's really something that is got, by the weight, and I look at the abdomen to see if there is any congestion. Based on that is when I start getting into this mode of getting into antibiotics. Unless or until I really feel it is absolutely required, I never touch on this. I only give them supplements, like I said, regular multivitamins and stuff, that too once in a week. Apart from that, it is just plain water and the regular food quantity that keeps them happy. So
Okay.
you can give them the regular stuff. Just give them additional, along with Necton, you can give them some extra egg food. That really helps actually.
Sure, sure, sure. Thank you. And then, as you said that you are not, I mean, a person who has give the red egg food. I mean, I used to buy a imported red egg food. and mix up with a normal boiled egg, and I used to give every week 3 times. Is that okay, or is that something wrong with that I'm giving? Because while in breeding, I mean, while in after hatching the youngsters, still I give those red egg food. So is that something that kill the youngsters, or they don't want to feed because of the
Like I
color?
like I said, I haven't, I just tried it once. I had a very bad experience. I didn't want to go through that again. I felt, the red part of my bird, I'm able to retain it by just giving them the regular capsicum and other stuff. Though it's not the intense red, they are still, to a good quantity of red is displayed. So I'm okay with that. But during chicks, I would not take that risk. I would, you know uh, I would keep it pretty plain with the egg food. That's pretty
Okay.
much it. That
Okay.
helps.
Okay, okay, really. Thank you very much, Mohan. And the molting, how long the molting continues? I mean, as you said, in a year, normally, I mean,
Yeah,
your birds.
if it's a heavy molt, I've seen some of my bird go through for almost 1.5 to 2 months also. Sometimes it's a very slow molt. They inch by inch they cover it. But the moment you find that the pin feathers on the face, that tells you that the mold is about to end. So that's the indication.
Okay, thank you, Mohan. Thanks a lot.
Yep,
Thank you
no
very
problem.
much. Yeah.
Okay, Jaren,
Thank you.
back to you.
Thanks,
Thanks.
Mohan. Is there any other questions? I think we are good to go. Thank you once again, Mohan. You have done a brilliant presentation, and thanks once again. So we'll be uploading the presentation in our YouTube channel. So better, I mean, you can just follow our association Facebook page. We'll be updating more details. And if you have any queries or any questions, you can ask in your WhatsApp group, which is already there. You can ask. Be activating that WhatsApp group by tomorrow. So that's it. Thank you, Mohan.
Thanks, everyone.
Mohan, once again, just one more question. Somebody's asked a question about an Ambrolium dosage. Could you just
So yeah, Ambrolium. I would say I use my cups are not smaller, not the regular cups I use. At least I would say 300 ml of water is there. For that, I would give it the like 3 pinches, I would say, 3 to 4 pinches of Ambrolium I add for the 300 ml. So it's basically based on the quantity of water everybody uses. If it's a regular bowl, I would say 1 to 1.5 pinches is okay. I would say.
Okay, and one more thing. Somebody's asked, is there an alternative to SCAT or S76 in India?
So S76, I think for the most part, ivermectin from Virbac, the oral solution helps. We can try that, but the only complaint, or I would say the only difference, is people find that S76 works a bit faster, while the ivermectin. See, the ivermectin that we have, that we use, right? It's the tricky part with that is it is designed for cattle and other stuff. The quantity, the dosage cannot be gauged, right? So we want to go, we don't want to overdose. We only can go under dosage on that. So when you give underdosage medicine, you don't know if you're giving the right quantity of ivermectin required or not. So that the time you might want to continue the medicine to see the results might differ when compared to S76, which is purely for birds, right? So you kind of give them the S76, which is I would say kind of derived for the birds and safe to use as well. I've seen cattle's they use a minimum quantity for cattle's as well, which I've seen experience in my direct experience with I mean, say, looking at cattle breeders. So I kind of tend to have I would say I'm a bit scared to even a small bit of dosage on that. I don't know what will happen, so I kind of keep it very very low. But to answer the question, ivermectin is the best solution. But for scat, like I said, nothing if you want to compare scat with something, I cannot compare. But ivermectin and S76 is ivermectin is the replacement for scat, and S76, I would say.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mohan. Thank you very much. It was a very informative session. And thank you for your time.
Hey, thanks everyone.
Yeah. So thank you everyone for attending the webinar. We hope to see you next Saturday with another webinar. Please, we'll be uploading this session on YouTube shortly. So subscribe to our YouTube channel for updates. It will be put up on our Facebook page also. Thank you very much.